who's the best producer on GTA?
The best producer on GTA. Oh, I don't know. I don't know. I think I might have to crown myself with that one. I don't think nobody got in there and took me out the game yet.
I might have to give it to Tay on that one myself. I might have to give that one to him.
For real.
But shit, man, we appreciate it. The producer room, powered by producer culture. Like, comment, subscribe. Who you want to see next? Tay Tay been one of the most heavily requested ones. This YoungBoy season's upon us, so everybody wants to hear from how we did it. But we appreciate you having us. What's going on?
Don't like this shit, man.
Not much, just chilling, same thing, just trying to making beats still.
Yeah.
I've been doing stuff outside of beats recently, you know, coaching little kids. I got a little league team that I be with, so I'll be taking time doing that, stuff like that.
Yeah, talk about that. Right before we've been trying to plan it out, but he had his little league football team he's been coaching. How's the team doing? You said you had him 7-0.
Yeah, we 7-0 right now. So we got 2 games coming up this weekend. Should be pretty good. 2 rivalry games. So we're gonna see how that go.
Yeah, two big games this weekend. Well, you know who we rooting for, Team Tay Tay or
for sure.
What is the who made this shits? What's the team name called?
Nah, they call it the Texas Giants, but nah. I'm thinking about making my own team next year, like my own official team. So we're gonna see how that go.
Bro, you might as well damn near do it. Like, that's something a lot of like artists, once they get on, have their own teams.
Yeah.
You know, players get to the league, get to D1, whatever. They start their own AAU team for basketball or whatever for baseball or football. But yeah, I mean, I don't think like it's no reason why you just gotta wait. Like, you might as well damn near do it.
That's why I'm for sure thinking about doing it.
Yeah. So but yeah, like you just said, you know, fresh off of football practice, we appreciate you joining and everything. You know, the team's located in Texas, so that's the beginning. Tay Tay, you born and raised in Texas, or where did it all start off?
Yeah. I was born and raised in San Antonio, Texas. I grew up like in kind of like Foster Road area, northeast side, Converse. So that's where I came from. It's like a small city inside of San Antonio.
And then as far as like producing or even just like music wise, because you've been a pretty like steady climbing DJ in the space in Texas too, right? Like when did the DJing really start for you?
Like I used to work like at a youth center, like when I was making beats, because I was at college, and then like things didn't really work out. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna do this music stuff. So I started doing the music things. And then I was at the youth center, like they had like a little program, and I started teaching the kids how to make beats and stuff. And he was like, okay, I want you to teach them how to DJ as well. But I never DJed before. So I was like, okay, let me pick it up and do it. And then I've just, you know, I'm musically inclined. So I gravitated towards it and ended up learning that. And then I think it was the start of it was 2019. Like some high schoolers had hit me up for their graduation party, and they was trying to get me to do it. And I was like, nah, I don't think I'm ready yet. But my mom pushed me to do it, and it ended up being like a crazy Project X type party. And like ever since then, I just started going crazy with the DJing. Like I don't been big concerts already, and really it's just crazy.
Yeah, no, it's nuts. That's so the DJing really started, correct me if I'm wrong, taking off a little bit more before the producing or like beat.
Yeah, like so. Yeah, I really started I started popping with DJing stuff before I even had the big YoungBoy song, my first placement. Like so, yeah, most definitely I started doing the DJing first.
You were kind of doing a lot of like production, like making beats for fun or whatever before you started DJing.
Yeah, for sure. Like I started making the beats, I would say in high school. Yeah, I think I downloaded like Fruity Loops probably my sophomore year in high school or something like that, and started messing around with it.
Yeah, it's crazy. So it's the producing kind of starts before the DJing, but then the DJ starts making you money before.
Yeah, like that's what made money more. So I was like, okay, let me do this. But I still was making the beats on the side, but I was like, okay, this is making me money right now, so let me do this while something to make a little income.
Yeah, it's crazy, damn. As far as you starting to produce and everything, like what was like your real introduction to like producing? I know you spoke to you being in high school, whatever, that's when you downloaded Fruity Loops.
Yeah.
What made you even really get into it in the first place?
I feel like I was always like, when I was in class, I would always get in trouble because I would be beating on the desk, making beats with the pencils and stuff. So I feel like that right there. And then once I realized, okay, I can do like beats and stuff, and they had like software for it, I just downloaded it. And then I don't even know how I came across it really. I can't even remember. I just realized, okay, it's a software for it. I downloaded it and I just started going crazy on it. But before that, my mom had put me in a band when I was in like 6th grade, like percussion and stuff with the drums. But I really wasn't like, I'm not gonna do band. So I was like, I just did 1 year of that and I got out of that. And then before that, let me see. It started off, my dad had got me like a piano and I just started playing on it. And then it was like, okay, he's actually good. If you keep doing this and doing that, they'll give me like a synthesizer. So I kept that up for about 2 years. And then they finally got me like a keyboard and I had a whole little setup finally. And that's when I started like really going crazy with the beats and stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, it's insane. It's insane. You definitely started going crazy from there.
Yeah.
As far as getting your beats out there before you even had a placement or anything, a lot of people will go the internet YouTube route. We've spoke with a lot of people who've gone the internet YouTube route and been able to make it happen. What did you kind of do to start getting your beats out there really?
Yeah, cause like with the YouTube, like I was really in a point, like I was thinking, okay, if I put my beats on YouTube, they're just gonna steal them, or like, cause I didn't really know how it really worked then. So
Yeah,
I really took the route, like I took maybe from 20, let me see, cause I got my first placement, I think it was the beginning of 2019. So like from 2017, my first year of college, probably that whole year, I was just building a catalog up with like plenty of beats, like just grinding every day in, day out, after work, going to work, just making beats, a whole bunch, just stacking it up. And then I started getting my sound really out there because I didn't send beats to nobody because I was like, they're not gonna respond to me. I got like 2,000 followers. They're not gonna know who I am. So I started collabing with people, sending my sounds out to them. And then I think it was TNT hit me up and told me to send them a pack. And I sent him my first pack we did, JD Young had got on it and he posted it like 2 months later or something. And that's how that happened. So ever since then, it was just like, okay, I'm gonna collab with this artist or this producer and see if I can get my sound out there. I really didn't take the YouTube route because I really didn't want to do that route, but that's how I really got my sound. So I just was collabing with different producers to make get my sound out there basically. I knew they was gonna get in there with an artist, but I wasn't really gonna get in there. So that's how I did it.
yeah. No, it's crazy too, because TNT somebody who keeps circling back around every single time you like, if you don't know yet, like TNT been a really like stapling anchor and like bringing a lot of people up, which is crazy. Back then, because it's a lot of people who are at that point now that are trying to be just like you, 2,000 Instagram followers, doing this, that, posting on YouTube, trying to get like, what was kind of like your strategy when you were, hitting people up? Like you were hitting certain people up for a certain reason. What exactly were you hitting them with? Like what was kind of your networking?
I was just really like, because off the rip, I'll be like, okay, I'll just ask for how much a collab costs because I know like, most people gonna charge, most people don't, but most of them, like, they would hear my beats on my Instagram page and they'd be like, oh, you hard, just send me something. So I would send it through. But most of the time, like, my strategy to get to people, I would like, I think all the albums like YoungBoy produced, I would go on Genius and look at like all the producers, Double A, Marcus, India, Ripper, everybody on there. And I would go DM them and try to work with them. And I'll build a relationship with them. And like eventually, probably like out of all the people on his album, we probably got the collab song with YB that's out. So that's how I really started getting my name out there. I just went and worked with everybody off of that album. And eventually it took off. And that's what me and Playboy had, the 4 Sons of a King.
Yeah, no, exactly. That's right where we're going next. But yeah, I mean, such a smart way to do it. Go find those people. Shout out to all the like, at that point in time, everybody who was just all over every YoungBoy project. This Is the Sound, Double A, Mike Lowry, Louis Bands, India, Vintage Rippa, even like This Is the Sound has expanded a lot now to David Tellum and a lot of those other guys. So it's been really, really cool. And, this is the sound guy's going to stay with one on there. Like that.
Thanks. Like every time he's definitely going to have something on there.
Yeah. Shout out Lottery too. Lottery was on a bunch of those tracks on Sincerely Kentrell. But yeah, so you kind of started doing that, building it up, one collab after another. It finally pays off when you catch on with YoungBoy, Four Sons of a King with Playboy XO. Shout out Playboy too. Kind of how did that go? Like you and Playboy initially link up, and then how does it end up getting released?
So it really was crazy because I think, let me see, I sent him probably like 5 or 4 months because that came out in I think it came out in June. I hit him, I had DM'd him like a long time, but like I ain't get no response for a minute. And then he finally seen it and he was like, yo, send me some loops or whatever. So I had sent it to him. I was like, I'm glad he didn't see the ones I had sent before because they probably was terrible. Yeah. So like I had made two loops that day and I just had sent it to him. But he never hit me back after that. Like he never hit me back ever after that. So I just sent the loops off. I guess he did them. And then let me see what that was in February, like February 7th of 2019 is when we did the labs, when I sent it to him. And then we both just got surprised the day it dropped. It was just like, oh, this is crazy. Like it just dropped out of nowhere. We didn't know, we didn't get no paperwork, just dropped. And then eventually everything happened. Paperwork came and all that. But it was crazy. It was a crazy situation how it happened.
Yeah, no, that is crazy. And one thing about, YoungBoy, even just, I've never spoken to him or whatever, but working with a lot of different producers, like one thing about YoungBoy, he's gonna drop, and like
man, like you're not gonna know like at all. Like
we might have to worry about the rest of it later. Even Sincerely Kentrell just came out. Like out of all the producers that I work with that were on there, like one of them knew the placement was coming, was for sure.
Yeah.
Like
like that's why I don't even put. I just wait to see what's gonna be on there because you never know. Like
you never know. All right, well, Four Sons of a King comes out, and then afterwards, you make an appearance on the Still Flexin', Still Steppin' project. From that point to now, it's like Tay Tay and YoungBoy are synonymous. Everything's going together back and forth. But is there anything kind of that, the average person from the outside looking in doesn't know that happened in that meantime, where it's like you just started getting a stronger relationship with the collective? They started really knowing who you were. How did that kind of like really start to happen?
Really like, cause like me, like I personally have never ever had like a one-on-one conversation with YoungBoy, like ever, like not ever. I've talked to
everybody to hear
facts. Like I've talked to, say like his right-hand man on the phone with him being right there, and like it's a conversation that's for me, but I've never directly spoken to him. But like it'd be like, okay, he in the studio, he needs some beats type stuff. And like, but throughout the, like, I feel like we just been building a relationship through my beats. Like I feel like we relate to each other through the beats. So that's how I feel like that kind of relationship has grown. Like I never like knew it was gonna be like this. I thought, okay, I got a YoungBoy placement. That's that. Like I never knew it was gonna grow to like I'm on it dang near. I think every tape he dropped or album he dropped after that, I've been on it, at least 2 to 3 songs on there. And that's the crazy part.
Yeah, it's definitely crazy. So Still Flexin', Still Steppin' drops, I believe February 2020, top of the year 2020, right before COVID shuts everything down. Was it kind of like a similar process when it came to that, or how was like the background work for you making an appearance on that project?
I think that beat that was on there was from, because that came out in 2020, right? Like 2020. Okay, yeah. So that's when he was working with Chris James was an engineer.
Yeah.
I was sending beats to I was sending beats to him, and we were locking in that way like all the time. I'm pretty sure we got way more songs and that even dropped. So like I'm pretty sure, but I was working with Chris James to then, and that's when the Knocked Off had happened. And then I think a week after that's when he previewed the Backyard Against snippet. And that was with Chris James as well. And that went crazy. I think that's what really made me skyrocket. And it was crazy.
Yeah, no, that definitely went crazy. What's it like having just such a highly anticipated song? Like the song's not even out and it's a song of its own. how do you deal with everybody hitting you on Instagram? You're going live. They don't care about what you're doing. They just want to know when the song dropping.
I feel like it's a good and a bad thing. I feel like you just gotta embrace it because like, I mean, it's just because it was so hyped, and then the whole song was already out because he did the whole snippet.
Yeah.
And then it's just like you got the fans, they DMing you, they thinking that you got the song, they thinking you got control, and then when it don't drop, they like it's just you gotta be strong-minded because the YB fans crazy. Like they're gonna say some crazy stuff to you in the DMs, and then it's just really wild. But with that being, you know, it was previewed in February, and it didn't come out till September of that year. So that's the wild part. Like it was just a crazy experience the whole time, and it was amped up about it because it was supposed to be on 38 Baby 2, but like literally hours before it had got swiped off, and then it was wild after that.
Yeah, it's too crazy. One thing I want to say too, we spoke to Playboy and Chris James. Shout out to both of them. They actually got their own music as well, which you know, their own music is super hard. They're going up. Shout out to both of them. But yeah, it's crazy. That last Backyardigans, it was crazy. What do you kind of do? Like you have so much YoungBoy music that's teased, snippets, leaks floating around, whatever. What do you kind of do to make sure you're on top of all that?
Like really with the like I really don't be paying attention. Most of the stuff my mom will find before I even find it. Like she'll send it to me and be like, "Oh, did you know this is out?" And I'll be like, "Nah, I didn't even know." So really the leaks, I don't even know how they get out. I really ain't got no control of them. Some of them be like, some of them I know probably will have never have dropped, but some of them I'll be like, dang, this could have dropped. And y'all don't like the Freeze video. They had the video and the whole song. I don't even know how that happened.
Yeah.
Crazy part. But I mean, dealing with it is cool. Sometimes it's cool. Sometimes you're like, dang, I could have lost out on money or IRA certification, like a lot of things. So
yeah, that's crazy. It's definitely crazy. But yeah, I mean, congrats. We touched on Last Backyardigans finally ends up on the top project. The top project just recently certified platinum. Congratulations on that.
Thank you.
That's definitely a classic right there. I feel like when it came to top, it was a little bit more like of a focused project in comparison to some of the other ones. Did it feel like that for you? And was kind of like the background process to join in that project be a little different than anything else?
Really, like with me, like I really don't even know when I'm going to be on a project. Like they'll send me paperwork all the time, but they won't even tell me like the song name. They'll just put the name, what I name it, the beat. They'll put it on the contract and then send it to me and be like, "Oh, we don't know when it's coming out." So I'll just find out literally when the track list come out, or like the I forgot what's the word for it. I forgot what the word. What is it when they finna drop the song?
Like the pre-save link?
Yeah, that. So yeah, like that's when I'll find out. Like when the last Backyardigans, I didn't know. They said it was gonna drop, but I never knew. And then when they had posted the album and then they previewed and it said Last Backyardigans, I was like, okay, that's on there. And then I think 2 days before the album, YoungBoy had posted on his page the Right Foot Creep snippet. And then that's why I was like, okay, this might be on there too. And then that's when they had sent that one. So really, my main focus, I'm just sending beats. Like every day I'm sending him a pack, at least every other day at the bare minimum. And then it's ending up on a project, whichever ones.
Yeah, bro, it really is crazy because like, I think a lot of people hearing this maybe even thought that like you with YoungBoy every single day.
Yeah, facts. That's what I'm saying. Like we ain't never like been in this. We had planned to do like a studio session. We had some set up, but like it never had fell through. So that was that. But like we just all of us been sitting right here just sending him packs.
Yeah, it's crazy because it's like you really did it the same way. You had equally as much access to anybody else in the world.
Hey, yeah.
Just sending it through to them and whatever. So it's definitely crazy. It's definitely crazy to hear. Like I said, 4 Sons of a King comes out, YoungBoy all the way up into, top. And, even you definitely made a strong appearance most recently on Sincerely Kentrell. We're going to get back to that. But, in the meantime, there's been plenty of other artists that you've worked with. You spoke to kind of the Jada Young and stuff early on. After top releases, you actually start going pretty quickly. You have the Shorty Shorty placement shortly after that. Shorty Shorty was piping hot at the time, and you even make an appearance on a really really powerful ESTG project as well. How did you end up getting locked in with ESTG? Jack Harlow on the song as well, which is
that
crazy.
was crazy. Like that was so unexpected because it was Bearline had texted me, like I think it was probably super late. I was in bed already, and she was like, "Hey, I need beats for ESTG," and then I was like, "Okay, I never heard of them," so I went and looked them up. And I was like, "Okay, I got this type of beat," so I sent them like a 5-pack, and then she just clicked the one he was gonna get on, and then I guess a week later she was like, "You're gonna be on his album, and it's a hard feature on there," and she never told me who it was. But then when it dropped, I'm like, "Okay, this is hard." Like Jack Harlow, and I think Jack Harlow was hard. That's when he had did his song was going crazy right there. So and it was hard.
Yeah, it's too crazy. It's too crazy. With you kind of spoke a lot too to you know, this beat ends up getting placed. They hit you with the paperwork for this, that, whatever. As far as, you know, up and coming producers goes, there's a lot of guys that are, you know, securing their first placements ever. Like, what can you say to speak to the business? Like, what are some things they should do to make sure they're all the way on point?
I would say like don't even think about a placement if you don't have your business straight, because you could literally have a hit song, #1 hit song, and you will absolutely see no money from it if you don't have your business side right. So like I would say first you gotta get an attorney, get an entertainment lawyer, somebody that's gonna look at your paperwork, make sure it's right, but make sure you know it yourself too. Just because in case you have a lawyer that really doesn't know what he's doing, you need to make sure you know what you're doing. At the same time, you really can't depend on nobody else to do your business. So I'll make sure your business is straight, because the music is the fun part. The business is 99% of it. Like the music is just 1%. So know your business side. Make sure you got like your BMI set up, and make sure you just, you know, have everything set up in line before you rush to get a placement, because without the business, you're not getting no money off of it. So you just pointless.
Yeah, very, very true. There's a few really, really big songs that have hundreds of millions of views on YouTube, millions and millions of streams on DSPs, where producers have seen $0 from it because they made it.
It's crazy. Yeah.
There's the song "Saw Baby, Pull Up with a Stick." Everybody knows that song. Do some research on what happens to the producer in the background. This is all public knowledge. It's out there on YouTube, whatever. Everybody go check it out, because it's a crazy situation that happened. And as much as it sucks in that instance, if that could be like an anchoring moment to stop it from happening in the future, that'll definitely be big.
I think it took me a whole, probably when the 4 Sons of a King, I don't think I signed my contract until like literally the next year. I didn't sign a contract because I didn't have no lawyer. I was literally like, because I wasn't thinking I was getting a YoungBoy placement. So it's just happened. And then I had to take the time to go find a lawyer. So I think it probably took a whole year until I signed that contract to make sure everything was straight, and I just wasn't signing something stupid or nothing like that.
Yeah, exactly. It's better. I guess it's better to just sit back and do nothing, man.
Like your money gonna be there. I just had to make sure I was doing the right thing.
Yeah. Super crazy. In that same kind of time frame, you and 42 Dugg end up locking in and going crazy. Free Murray, and then a few other stuff as well. How did you initially link up with Dugg and start locking in and making a lot of stuff happen?
Initial 25 Ricch Julian had linked us in. That's my boy right there. He linked Facts right there. He linked us in, and I think I sent him probably like a 20-pack of just random like variety of stuff. So, and then that's how that happened. And he just posted on Instagram. That's how I found out. He posted a snippet on his Instagram and he was dropping it. And it was cool because it was a different vibe. Like, it wasn't something that he was always on. So that's what was cool about it.
Yeah, totally crazy. And then sticking with Dugg, you obviously have one of the biggest songs of 2021.
Thanks.
Probably the biggest feature, Roddy Ricch placement. That was not easy to come by.
Yeah.
So how does that song come together? And, you know, with the Scorpion sample, like what was the inspiration behind that?
Really, it was because really the whole beat wasn't even for it. I think it was for I think it was an artist, what's his name, Sav, or I think it's from LA or something like that. But 25 Ricch had sent me the sample. He was like, because it was for one of his artists. he was like, yo, sample this or whatever. And I think it was back in this beat, because this beat is old. I think it's either late 2018 or early 2019. And I had did it, but his artist ended up going to jail. So the beat was just sitting. And then I guess maybe that snippet come. I don't even know. I think it was the song came out. Snippet, yeah. Snippet came out last year. Last year around 2020. 25 Ricch called me like early in the morning, probably like 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock. And was like, yo, you won't believe who got on the beat with Dugg. And I was like, who? And then he was like, Roddy Ricch. And I thought he was lying for the longest, but then he sent me the snippet to my phone, and it was crazy. And I had to be quiet about that for like a whole year. Dang, I had to be quiet about it. Like I couldn't let nobody know. And I was just like, dang, this is crazy.
Yeah, you were quiet for forever, but I will say somehow I ended up with a snippet on my
yeah, you had the early access for sure.
Yeah, I'm not exactly sure how that happened or how it ended up popping up in my notes on my phone, but I was definitely playing it in the car going on. And
Yeah.
it had just a little tease of the part with Roddy Ricch on there too. So I was like,
thanks. I was like, crazy. That was like crazy because like Roddy Ricch placement is really hard to come by. Like it's hard. I was really grateful for that. So that was crazy.
Yeah, that was crazy. What about going back to kind of the business side? What was it like dealing with such a high profile sample that you guys had to maneuver around getting cleared?
Oh, it was actually better than what I thought. Like my lawyer Adam Zia, he was able to to do what he did, and I actually came away with still, I believe I think it was somewhere like around 18 or 19% still out of a band, like a band that's really good because they have 3 people to theirs. So they ended up getting 30% out of the song, and it was hard because it took so long, but Yo Gotti was able to talk to the actual Scorpions. Yo Gotti and Jay-Z had got involved to able to get the sample cleared, which was crazy. So that was a good thing. That's what a lot of people ask, every time, when the song came out, everybody was calling me like, yo, how did you get that clear? Like it's a super sample. So that's what's crazy.
Yeah, it's super sample for sure. But the CMG boys got involved and got it done is what it sounds like.
Yeah, that's definitely that probably was the hardest contract we did because it was so many times it was like, okay, well, we're not gonna drop the song because the numbers wasn't right. And then it was going back and forth for the longest. So I was that's why I really had to be quiet about it, because if I would have spoke and the song never dropped, I would have been like, dang, this is crazy. But
yeah, definitely. I think that's important too. We've touched kind of that topic in a few of the recent interviews. What are your thoughts when people just post on Instagram yo, me and so just got one, or a artist DMs the producer for beats and they just screenshot it and post it on their Instagram? What do you think about that?
I feel I wouldn't say it's lame, because I don't know. I never did that. When an artist got on my beat, I posted okay, new snippet. But I never was okay, we got one that's gonna drop soon. I didn't say none of that until I knew. Even now, after the Backyard Nigga situation, I don't even post that I got one until the actual album comes out that day, because you never know what's gonna happen behind the scenes. So I feel I really wouldn't say it's corny, but I would just don't say anything about it until you got paperwork or you for sure know it's coming out, because then you look crazy when it actually doesn't come out, and you don't told the whole world that you got this song coming out, and now you keep posting that song for a whole year now and ain't nothing ever happened. So I see that all the time where they get too stuck on it, or they get a placement or a snippet and then they get lax. So you just got to keep working.
Yeah, and to all the upcoming producers, we're not hating. You've heard this from a bunch of different people now that are super successful. We're not hating. We just don't want you guys to shoot yourself in the foot.
Because I've seen people that is just sit on their page for months, and that's why a lot of people stop, because they think it was gonna come out, never came out. Now they just get discouraged. So you just gotta always keep working, because you never know. People record songs every day. They record probably 20 songs plus a day. You never know. So they're always recording, they're always hearing new music. Your song might get forgotten about. So you just got to keep working.
Shit, well, that's definitely true. But yeah, just a crazy hot summer for 42 Dugg, especially with the songs that you did with him, going up fast, going crazy. As we approach Q4, we're in Q4 now of 2021. YoungBoy drops after what seemed like a pretty long drought after
For real.
LB and Donda. It seemed like it was a pretty long drought, but Sincerely Kentrell finally drops. You know, unfortunately with him sitting down right now, what was the process for that album a little bit different than some of the other things, or did you have most of the songs already kind of beforehand?
Like with the songs I had on the album.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I had the White Teeth, which was had already came out. Video had already shot. Then the 50 Shots, he had already did that one. I think the only new one was Still Waiting, which was a good one. They caught me by surprise. Like when that dropped, I didn't know that dropped either. Shout out to Jason for that. That was the Jail Call song, so that was a real cool one. But like the process, it's really been the same though. It really hasn't been no slowdown with him being behind, locked up at the moment. So that's the good part. His management team still have everything rolling fast.
Yeah. Yeah. And Cheese came through, made a lot happen on there. Even when it comes to that project had a quote unquote deluxe or two songs added at the last second. You were obviously one of those. Like, did you know that was happening before? Or
no, see, like I didn't even know that was dropping. Like I had an idea like a while back. I asked if it was gonna get released. They said they were pushing for release, but I never knew it was gonna be like, okay, it's gonna be a bonus on the album. So that like everything is a surprise to me. Like it's just a surprise. I'm just like the fans. Like I'm know when they know. So it was a surprise.
Yeah. It's crazy. It's crazy. Well, you know, obviously it's a lot of stuff you want to keep confidential. What's next in the world of Tay Tay? You know, you got some, you know, music coming out with artists you're excited about. You're thinking of bringing some more producers underneath you. What's next for Tay Tay?
Really at the moment, I just been really just working, like just kind of like trying to reinvent myself in different ways, always like looking for new sounds, things like that. I just been in my bag, like building more catalogs. I'm trying to really get into the pop realm. That's like, that's really what I feel like I'll be happy once I do that. Like I'm happy with what I got already, but I feel like that's where my heart at. Like I want like radio hits and stuff like that. So that's what I've been working on, trying to perfect that craft.
Yeah. And that the radio publishing money is crazy too.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, like I know like hip hop is cool. Everything's cool. Like I love it, but I just really want to get into the radio realm, like radios, pop songs, stuff you hear when you turn on the radio. I want to get into it.
Yeah, insane. All right, we got to ask the $1 million question. You know what's going on. Who is the Tay Tay tag?
Oh, that's my nephew. He did that when he was like, I think he was 3 years old. Like he was just sitting here playing around on the mic, and I just had it recording because I know he wouldn't say it when I told him to, so I just kept saying it, and I chopped it up, and ever since then it's been going crazy.
He did both parts of it, even the Who Made the Sit part?
Oh no, I did that first part. But people think it's YB. I don't even know how they think it's YB. I've been running with that for the longest, but no, I did it. I did the first part because it was just a Tay Tay made it. Tay Tay made the beat, and then I added that Who Made It at the beginning.
Yeah, crazy. But yeah, outside of music, what's going on in the world of Tay Tay? We kind of spoke to the you know, the coaching, the football stuff. What else do you have going on? A lot more DJ stuff, right?
Yeah, I've been working with that. Been really trying to like start doing my own like concerts where like I'm booking the artists and type stuff. So just making my money make money. So I've been plotting on that for a little bit. Really, I just really be chilling though. Like I be in my room every time I get on live. I'm in my room, so I be in here making beats. That's really what all I do.
Crazy. Well, you know, like I said before when we spoke to you know, some of the people who are trying to be like Tay Tay, what's some kind of like advice you would give to those people who are just trying, feel like they're stuck, feel like they're getting nowhere? I know you were probably even feeling like that at one point. Like, what is the super successful platinum producing Tay Tay president say to them now?
I feel like for like starters, I would say like, because with me, I didn't start sending out beats until like I really knew who I was. Like I wouldn't, because I knew like I would watch interviews of people and they would say, you really only have one time to like your first impression, that's your one time. So you can either send something and they never open your email again, or you can send something and be like, okay, he's fine. So like I would work, just keep working, and know yourself. Like know who you are. Know you as a producer, you know when your beats sound like, you know when they sound fire. So I didn't send out a collab until I knew they would like my sound. So as an upcoming producer, just know yourself and don't rush it. Like don't rush anything, because nothing comes good from rushing. Like it's all about the longevity in producing. So just be patient. Make sure that you know your sound, know your lane, and just send out beats to artists. Tap in with artists when you know like they're actually gonna fuck with your shit. Like don't rush it, because then you rushing placements and now you sent them some bull crap and your email blocked. So you just gotta be patient and just know yourself.
Yeah, definitely. And like we said, speak it into existence, and it's all gonna happen when it's supposed to happen. Even you said, you know, it's a blessing that Playboy didn't open your
Nah,
collabs
for real,
in the
'cause he
beginning.
probably would have opened it. He probably never would have probably messed with me after that. So like it's good that he saw it when he saw it and told me to send something. Because by then I had already had a JD Young placement, and that's probably what got people, you know, working with me after that.
Yeah. No, it's insane, but we appreciate you stopping by the producer room, powered by producer culture. Like, comment, subscribe. Everybody comment who they want to see next. Tay Tay, who's next? Who we doing next?
Let's see. Next. I don't know. Who should we do next? Who y'all done already?
Man, we got some stuff in the stash, but who do you think we should do next?
Probably Chi. Maybe Chi.
Maybe Chi. Everybody spam Chi. We got to get to it, but
Bro.
appreciate it again. The producer room, powered by producer culture. Let's go.